Russell Wilson spoke today. Both of the quarterbacks spoke, but Russell Wilson was the guy that I think a lot of people had their eyes on. Justin Fields, hey, you excited to start? Is it an easier week when you have the whole week to prepare? Both answers were yes. It's stuff you saw coming. Russell Wilson, a little bit different. He spoke about, well, the injury, where he's at with the injury, where he wants to be with the injury. And to be honest with you, the tone, it sounds like it's changing a little bit from where it was even a week ago compared to where it is now. Let's give it a listen.
Yeah, I was, mentally and physically just trying to get there, to go through the whole process, see how I really felt. Coach and I talked on Sunday, we felt like it wasn't ready yet, trying to be smart. And I think it was a smart decision, in terms of we got confidence in our football team. That's a great thing about our team. We got a great defense. We got a great special teams. And offensively, we can do some really special things as well. So, I thought that was a huge win for us. The best part about that game is just running out in the Steelers uniform and just seeing the yellow towels everywhere. That was pretty cool.
When this first happened, did you expect that this would linger as long as when this first happened last week? Did you expect this might linger as long as it has?
I think when it happened in training camp, I was disappointed because I knew it was pretty strong, pretty good calf injury. And so that was disappointing, but we kept our head up. We worked our butts off every day, the training room and myself and Manuel and everything else. And we just spent a lot of time to just kind of get ready. And so when I tweeted again, it was like, okay, yeah, we got to be smart here and not crazy push it too bad. So I think that was the frustrating part. Obviously, I want to be able to be out there between the white lines of my teammates.
So the first thing that stood out to me, and I'm standing there, I'm right behind Joe Rutter asking that question, and it was a pretty strong injury. My eyes popped. What do you mean pretty strong? We were told for a whole month this was no big deal. This was not a serious injury. This was actually the smallest, least concerning injury of all time, if you asked Mike Tomlin and really Russell Wilson all throughout training camp and the preseason. Apparently, it was a pretty strong injury. He later talks about, I want to be 100% both mentally and physically before I'm back out there. Long story short, I don't know if Mike Tomlin had a conversation with Russ and said, hey, we're sticking with Justin until Justin loses the job, or if this is becoming progressively worse instead of progressively better with that calf injury. But Russ is, in my eyes, pretty far from returning. And what I got today was this is something that, Russ might not return from in 2024, at least not be a starter for in 2024, because, he was pretty clear there that this is something that's a little bit stronger than we anticipated, than he even opened up to and admitted early on. And him admitting that kind of, I don't want to use the word defeat, but it feels like it fits the narrative. It feels like that fits what went on there, that Russ is kind of admitting defeat to the injury and the circumstance. And we could shut down Denver in week 2. I think that's a given. The other part of this is we might be able to shut down a long run of, if Justin continues to win, doesn't matter how he performs, Russ is the number 2, maybe the number 3, because who knows what this calf injury means. Did you pick up the same watching that?
Yeah, especially whenever he said pretty strong. I was like, oh, this is definitely new information to me. Yes. And new information to everybody. It's unfortunate because I think a lot of people were excited about the prospect of Russell Wilson, a veteran quarterback, coming in with Arthur Smith, a veteran offensive coordinator. But at the same time, whenever you look at the way he was kind of talking, this is a guy that is always power of positivity. The way that he's talking there, you mentioned, seems a little defeated. It seems like he's basically admitting to the fact that, hey, this is like I worried about preseason. This is like Joe Burrow last year. The only difference is they have another starting quarterback behind him in Justin Fields, whereas Burrow had Jake Browning. So the Steelers are hinging the season not on an injured player in Russell Wilson, but hinging it upon Justin Fields, who, yes, has his warts. We understand that, but is a starting quarterback in the NFL, certainly more so than what the Bengals had last year. So this tells me, at the very least, this is going to be something that maybe he does come back and play. I'm not necessarily going to say that and go to that extent, but maybe this is something where he isn't going to be 100% at any point this year. And even if he does get into start, that is still worrisome that he's not going to have that full 100% opportunity with the Steelers in year 1.
What's up, guys? It's football season, and we've teamed up with DraftKings. Right now, new customers who bet $5 will receive $250 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, you'll receive 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. It's hard to think of a better way to celebrate fall weather, your favorite jersey, and Sunday touchdowns than with the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings app and use our promo code ALLSteelers. That's $250 in bonus bets instantly and 1 month of NFL Plus Premium after betting just $5. Stay in the action and use your $250 in bonus bets to bet anytime touchdowns on DraftKings. DraftKings is the place to bet touchdowns. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You could still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code ALLSteelers and bet just $5 on any wager and get $250 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code ALLSteelers only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Yeah, the way, I mean, even if they thought he was the guy, even if they thought Justin, didn't wow us enough in week 1, didn't wow us enough in week 2, and the Steelers are winning, but Justin's not throwing touchdowns and he's not turning the ball over. He's not losing games, but he's also not winning games for the Steelers. You kind of look at it and say there's a chance that the Steelers' mindset is that's still better than losing Russ for the season. Because if you lose Russ for the season, you only have Justin. You have Justin and Kyle Allen. So you really only have Justin. Where it sits right now, Russ might not be 100%, but you have him. He's available. He's there if you need him. He's the emergency quarterback. So worst case scenario, Justin gets hurt, you still have a backup. Justin doesn't play well, you still have a backup. I just think that the precautionary side of this, the Steelers might be looking at and saying, if we didn't have another starting caliber quarterback, if we didn't have another guy that we wanted, that we weren't intrigued by, we wouldn't even worry about this. But when you look at it and say, well, Justin's a guy that intrigues us, maybe Justin is the future, Justin has a bunch of potential, let's not take a risk on losing one of these guys, even if the initial plan was to have 2 and do it with Russ first. Well, got to be light on your feet. The plan changes. Now it's Justin being the starter. And this could be equal parts the Pittsburgh Steelers being cautious about the situation as it is Justin Fields impressing enough and them seeing, hey, look at this could be the future. This could be the next guy. We have to give him an opportunity. I think both things are playing a role here. But what I'm getting from Russ is that he is, for one, definitely not playing in Denver. I mean, there's no part of his interview, no part of Justin's interview, really no part of anybody who spoke today to the media where you sat there and said the door is still open for Russ to play on Sunday. And 2, I think this is going to carry on much longer than we think. I would be shocked if week 3 is a week where, unless Justin really struggles against Denver and the Broncos walk away with a win, or the Steelers squeak by with a really ugly win, then I would say it's still Justin's game in week 3 and possibly moving forward. I think it's in serious question whether or not Russ actually does start for the Steelers. This is the first time I kind of saw maybe the stars are aligning there. Maybe even Russ is acknowledging it's coming to an end here. It's not a great situation for him and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do you agree?
Yeah, and with an older quarterback, this is always something that you look at and say, all right, well, how long is it going to take him to recover from that? Because clearly it's going to take younger quarterbacks and younger players in general a lot less time. Russ is 35 years old, and albeit a player, a 35-year-old that has been pretty healthy throughout his career, he's only missed 5 starts in 12 years. When you deal with something like this, and I think Macaroni Salad said it in the comment section, especially, I mean, valid point, calf injuries lead to Achilles injuries. And we saw it last year with 2 older quarterbacks and Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins. The Steelers, if they don't have to be, hyperactive and trying to get him back onto the field, you're going to take as much time as you can. And right now it seems like they're taking it slow because of Justin Fields being able to get that win and look pretty good in that win against Atlanta.
Yeah, I want to answer this one real quick before we go over to the offensive line. If it's serious, why was Russell Wilson the emergency quarterback? He'll remain the emergency quarterback. So the emergency quarterback is essentially only there worst case scenario. if Justin gets hurt, if Kyle Allen gets hurt, the Steelers could put Russ in. He does not have to take up a roster spot on game days. So you still have your full 47-man roster, I believe it is, on Sundays without having to worry about a third quarterback. He also doesn't even have to suit up. That's a Russ decision there for him to suit up. So, which, you know, you could say Russ is weird with a lot of things. Mason Rudolph also, so like, he was suiting up last year too. It's just something that you're going to do. But it's really just an extra. You are going to take advantage of that situation if you can with the Steelers. That's why he's the emergency quarterback. There's no reason not to. It doesn't impact your roster really in any way.